2018 Porsche Panamera Review. The good points of Porsche Panamera: very fast, luxury travel. High-tech, comfortable cabin. Cutting-edge driving technology. Refined but exciting drive and automobile. The bad points of Porsche Panamera: more space in conventional saloons. Budget extra to obtain options. This will be the second generation on the Porsche Panamera, the German sports vehicle maker's luxury saloon. Well, Porsche is the term for it, like a saloon, but in fact, it's a 5-door coupe having a hatchback to gain access to the boot. All new in the ground up, it now offers a doubly rounded mix of high-performance driver enjoyment and luxury saloon comfort, enhanced using a sophisticated variety of cutting-edge onboard and chassis technology. Porsche has even improved the way it looks, though still not much of a classic beauty. The second-generation Panamera's styling is way less heavy-handed than before, especially throughout the rear. Its coupe is now an even more homogeneous resemblance on the trademark Porsche 911 range. It's a painful car to pigeonhole, meaning its rivals are as diverse because BMW 6 Series Grand Coupe, the Maserati Quattroporte and Mercedes-Benz CLS. It will also attract those who hear is a luxury car but wish to avoid the almost default choice on the Mercedes class. Longer and stronger. The redesign in addition has made it much roomier with this report, for passengers traveling inside the rear, whilst the new structure is lighter, stronger and much more versatile than before, allowing not just for the executive long wheelbase versions, but a shooting brake-style estate variant, probably be called the Panamera Sport Turismo. Performance-focused engine range. The engine lineup closely resembles an original Panamera's, but which has a new array of power plants, again in petrol, diesel and plug-in hybrid choices. At the cheaper end with the range, a turbocharged 3.0-liter V6 turbo petrol engine drives a corner wheels, for the Panamera and Panamera 4 models. The 4 will crack the 0.62 mph quantity of 5.3 seconds, so it's no slouch. Both the 4S plus the 4S diesel 4-wheel drive have twin-turbo motors, a 2.9-liter V6 with 440 horsepower for that petrol along with a 4.0-liter V8 for the diesel, producing 422 horsepower. The same 2.9-liter engine features inside the hybrid versions, even though electrical assistance sees power rise to 462 horsepower. Porsche claims approximately 31 miles of electric-only driving by having an official fuel efficiency of 113.0 miles per gallon. Crowning the range will be the turbo. Its 4.0-liter engine musters 550 horsepower, enough for the 190 miles per hour top speed. All Panameras produce an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, under Porsche's no familiar PDK branding. There's no manual option. More on the latest technology. New technology with the latest Panamera incorporates a driver assistance system called InnoDrive, a much improved multimedia system, along with a 3-chamber air suspension package for only better ride quality. Plus, there's rear-wheel steering for greater agility and stability, and a far more efficient electromechanical active anti-roll stabilization in place with the previous hydraulic setup. They may also be completely integrated into a different system called Porsche 4D Chassis Control that comes as standard. Porsche 4D Chassis Control coordinates all from the driving tech into one holistic package, giving the Panamera remarkably fleet-footed responses, specifically a car that is certainly over 5 meters long. Porsche Panamera Saloon Model History. June 2016, second-generation Panamera accessible to order in 4S diesel and turbo guises, with first deliveries in November. all on the initial range feature 4-wheel drive and 8-speed PDK automatic gearboxes. September 2016, more efficient 4-hybrid plug-in on the market to order, with first deliveries expected in spring 2017. November 2016, deliveries for all those begin in spring 2017. Watch the total Porsche Panamera saloon review whether it really does combine race car dynamics with luxury saloon opulence. Very powerful, quickly, particularly the turbo. 4-wheel drive standard on many models. 8-speed dual-clutch automatic common to all. If it's performance you need, you've come on the right place since the Porsche Panamera has it in spades. Turbocharged V6 petrols. The lowest-priced Panamera 4 and 4 Executive use a 3.0-liter V6 petrol engine which has a turbo, producing 330 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque coming from a very low 1,340 revolutions per minute right through to 4,900 revolutions per minute, which will means it performs with impressive flexibility. Like all Panameras, it's fitted solely having an 8-speed dual-clutch PDK automatic. In rear-wheel drive form it'll reach 164 miles per hour, but both 4-wheel drive versions are slightly slower at 162 miles per hour. Acceleration times vary with all the entry-level Panamera posting a 5.5 second 062 miles per hour time, compared to 5.3 seconds to the Panamera 4 and 5.4 for your 4 Executive. While it's amply quick, a few will want more, and that is where the 2.9-liter twin-turbo 4S and 4S Executive come for the 4. Power's ranked approximately 440 horsepower, with peak torque of 550 Nm on song from 1,750 revolutions per minute and 5,500 revolutions per minute, meaning it's no slouch. The 062 miles per hour blast takes 4.2 seconds 4.3 with the long wheelbase Executive and top speed is 179 miles per hour. The lower weight with the smaller 6-cylinder engine within the front can also help it to feel lighter on its feet, particularly in side corners. Mighty V8 diesel. The 4S models are hardly shy in performance terms, though the diesel version you at the very least get some sensible fuel efficiency included, although you're unlikely to determine the official claim of 42.2 miles per gallon, impressive coming from a 4.0-liter V8. There's a monstrous 850 Nm of torque to match its 422 horsepower, and due to sequential turbocharging meaning it relies on a smaller turbo to start with to provide a fast response, changing over to a more substantial turbo as engine speed increases peak torque gets to a super low 1,000 revolutions per minute, and that means you barely must accelerate beyond idling to obtain the most through the 8-cylinder engine. Surging from 062 miles per hour takes as low as 4.3 seconds and top speed is 177 miles per hour, causing the fastest diesel saloon discounted. It is really a charismatic noise, too, and considering the additional fuel economy that diesel fuel provides, this version with the Panamera could very well be the best all-rounder in the range. It's also anticipated to be the most effective seller. Plug-in hybrid for low CO2 emissions. Headline figures of 113 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of 56 gkm will grab the eye of company car drivers lucky enough to have the Panamera S-Hybrid on his or her employer's choice list. Porsche claims that this plug-in Panamera can provide approximately 31 miles of electrically driving range, but it will require the most careful of driving. This could be difficult when it's got 462 horsepower and 700 Nm of torque on tap from 1,100 revolutions per minute. That's enough for the 3.1 second 062 miles per hour time 3.2 for that executive, as well as a 172 miles per hour top speed. Not quite Tesla Model S amounts of acceleration, nevertheless the Panamera's more fun to operate a vehicle. Flagship Panamera Turbo. The headline act would be the 550 horsepower turbo. This has 770 Nm of torque, are able to do 062 miles per hour in as small as 3.6 seconds. The executive's 0.1 seconds slower, reaches a top-notch speed of 190 miles per hour and possesses lapped the famous German Nürburgring fast enough to set a different record for saloon cars. It still weighs 1,995 kilograms, nevertheless, you'd be challenged to tell, as including the merest hint of intent to misbehave sees it rocketing inside the road. Overtaking is usually a blink and you'll miss it affair. But while this massive car remains indefatigably composed. Oh, and also the noise from that 4.0-liter V8 is very bewitching, too. Sport Chrono Package. All versions in the Panamera are available while using Porsche Sports Chrono Package, which adds a circular driving mode selector for the steering wheel, providing you with a number of normal, Sport, Sport Plus and individual settings. In the middle with the selector there's a Sport Response button, that you can press to instantly prime the vehicle for 20 seconds of maximum performance in every given situation. This is effective. With engines this powerful, it's obvious why Porsche has fitted four-wheel drive as standard to too many Panameras, save to the entry-level model, mainly because it helps maintain traction. You can very occasionally detect the amount it's struggling to achieve this, especially within the forest diesel, nevertheless it never is a significant issue. Similarly, the 8-speed transmission does occasionally feel slightly abrupt, but otherwise does a great job of managing countless ratios. Paddle shifters for the steering wheel assist you to take control at the moment. The Panamera's fastest acceleration times are recorded using the optional Sport Chrono Package, with all the Sport Plus driving mode, consisting of launch control. Non-Sport Plus acceleration times are 0.2 of a second slower. Thrilling but poised, right across the stove. Belies its size on twisty roads, but very stable at broadband. Optional extras ensure it is even more capable. This is the spot that the Porsche Panamera's bewatchability really impresses, the way it offers limo-like comfort, but they can go round corners almost as well as being a proper sports vehicle, although it should be noted that any of us have thus far only sampled the automobile fitted with rear-wheel steering system and air suspension. Active chassis tech boosts agility. The optional rear-wheel steering helps to make the vehicle turn quicker at low speeds yet also believe more stable at high speeds. Combined together with the Sport Chrono Package, it will also help the Panamera become noticeably more agile inside most focused Sport Plus setting. This is a motor vehicle you can drive quickly when circumstances allow, as an example, sections on the German Autobahn without speed limits, the place that the car feels a lot at home. The air suspension is covered from the comfort section. We are yet to evaluate the active anti-roll system, but this will likely decrease the rolling motion in corners to near undetectable levels in everyday driving, because the Panamera hardly leans much without one. Grip levels are high, as well as the steering both accurate and acceptably nuanced for just a large luxury vehicle. However, the Panamera feels just its tachometer width from behind the controls, making narrow country lanes an occasionally nervous affair. Finally, a quick word with the new Porsche 4D chassis control. This can be an overarching electronic brain that ensures all on the handling technology available for the car works in whole cooperation rather than each component acting independently. It makes the automobile faster and safer. High-tech feel with large touchscreen and fewer buttons. Great quality of fit and complete. The Porsche Panamera is often a pricey, premium car, however, you won't possess trouble understanding in which the money went from driving. Build quality is first-rate. Under the influence of Tesla. Replacing the massed ranks of human buttons within the previous model's center console are sleek touch-sensitive panels. Above these sits a 12-inch widescreen display containing a whole new multimedia system that is heavily depending smartphones, being relatively intuitive to function, all too easy to customize and understanding of multi-touch gestures, like pinching to zoom from the standard sedan. There will be more screens either side from the central rev counter, the only real analog instrument left from the car, aside through the dash-stop clock you get with all the Sport Chrono package, and another for passengers to learn with within the back. All of which provides each Panamera an exceptionally modern air, the one that Porsche acknowledges has been relying on the success of premium electric car maker Tesla. Too much tech due to its own good? Generally speaking, it's all fairly straightforward to make use of, but as usual with touchscreen-dominated in-car control interfaces, there remains a sneaking suspicion that buttons continue to be easier make use of and less distracting for that driver. A recent case here may be the central air vent, that's entirely operated from the inside the touchscreen display, like the angle you desire to point it. You have to take your vision off the road for much longer than you would, which has a conventional vent to be a result. It smacks of Porsche doing something as it can, rather than given it makes things better. Air suspension offers great comfort. Roomier cabin now more limo-like. Refinement and excitement sensible. Key to your aforementioned limo-like comfort may be the second-generation Porsche Panamera's air suspension, which uses 3 air chambers, yet another than the prior version for optimum cushiness. Even the firmest with the 3 available settings feels tolerable within the motorway, while rougher surfaces get forced out feeling a bit unsettled. The softer settings will definitely keep you untroubled overall. Nevertheless, the very worst potholes or bumps, even though you decide to go for that optional 21-inch alloy wheels. Air suspension optional, or perhaps is it? It's a superb job. Mid-air suspension actively works too well, because until August 2017 Panamera 4S customers will likely be forced to pay another charge for doing this, since the regular suspension is unavailable before this. The turbo includes the charge within its basic selling price. Porsche can be a sporty brand, so its customers generally be ready to hear some engine noise inside cabin, and think about this a positive part in the experience, assuming the sound is usually a pleasant one. Sounds sporty. In the newest Panamera, almost all of the well-managed, as not merely are those sounds charismatic during more spirited driving, they drop away to virtual silence when you're simply in a cruise. For instance, your passengers won't ever suspect the 4S diesel is truly a diesel inside, and Porsche has these times elected to clear out the diesel badges on the outside. This caveat aside, refinement is extremely good. Wind and road noise is well contained, right approximately motorway speeds, where normal conversation is readily maintained. Simply put, if you've got far to travel and also you like to go both quickly and comfortably, there is certainly little to discover fault with here. Although the less expensive versions with the Panamera are open to order, Porsche is yet to finalize the specifications for the People models during writing. Standard Porsche Panamera saloon equipment. Opt for your mid-range 4S and 4S diesel, therefore you'll inevitably be in a well-made luxury 4-seater. Nevertheless, it's not bristling with just as much standard equipment perhaps you might imagine, only at that price point. 4-wheel drive is part in the package, the wheels being 19 inches in diameter. LED headlights are fitted, even though the taillights also utilize LED technology, helping maintain Panamera stable at higher speeds is undoubtedly an electrically raised rear spoiler. There's a large rethink inside the cabin, with many on the controls operated with a brand new 12-inch touchscreen that doubles to be a multimedia display. There are two higher resolution screens either side on the centrally located rev counter. Ride comfort is managed with a controllable adaptive damping, although until mid-2017 all Panamera 4S models are spec'd with all the optional air suspension system, too. Inside you'll find 8-way electrically adjustable front seats and dual-zone climate control. Choose the flagship turbo and also you'll add 20-inch alloys with red brake calipers nestled to their rear, whilst the extending rear wing splits into two for greater width and downforce. Air suspension is usually part with the turbo package, as well as 14-way electrically adjustable front seats. Optional Porsche Panamera saloon accessories. Porsche is notorious due to its lengthy options lists, which often include a lot of items you might expect you get without cost on such expensive cars, and although this has improved, you are still ought to pay extra if you require a reversing camera, not to say the more up-to-date surround view parking camera system that cleverly provides an overhead view from the car regarding its surroundings. Both merchandise is near essential inside a vehicle that's over 5 meters long and nearly 2 meters wide. Optional highlights internally include seats with ever greater quantities of electric adjustment and massaging functions both in the back and front, 2 grades of surround sound system Bose with 14 speakers, or Burmester with 21 speakers for more than 4 times the cost, a TV tuner, rear seat entertainment package, and Ford-zone climate control. We've covered the security equipment such since the new night vision system inside the relevant section below. There may also be 2 further grades of LED headlight, culminating inside fully active matrix LED headlights with 84 individual points of light to make night into day. Options to boost the handling. The really heavy-hitting options, however, all take care of handling performance. In addition towards the rear wheel steering, Sport Chrono package and active anti-roll stabilization Awashi discussed, buyers may also consider the carbon ceramic brake upgrade, though frankly the improved standard setup have to do the job for everyone but the most demanding drivers. In addition, petrol models are available that has a switchable sports exhaust, making the vehicle louder at the moment. Lots of active safety technology available. Advanced new in-aisle drive co-pilot system. Night vision option. There's no Euro NCAP rating with the new Panamera, and curiously, Europe's independent crash test body generally doesn't test cars as of this prestige level. But with part aluminum and high-strength steel construction, 8 airbags and highly sophisticated electronic stability control as standard, it should be a minimum of as safe as other things in this class. Optional safety equipment for that Porsche Panamera. Porsche offers a number of options to reload safety levels further, including night vision, which utilizes a thermal camera to assist you to spot pedestrians and animals earlier at night time, detailed with color-highlighted warning. Lane change assistant, and that is basically a long-range blind spot monitor. Lane departure warning, which alerts you if you are planning to cross through your lane without indicating, precisely the same camera that controls, and also this recognizes road signs and displays them around the dashboard. Adaptive Cruise Control ACC with stop and go function. The LED matrix headlights also count as being a safety upgrade, simply because aim to give you the top possible illumination at nighttime without dazzling other motorists, that is achieved by constantly adapting the lighting beam. Then there's Porsche InnoDrive. This is a whole new system that utilizes sedan data to predict the path for approximately nearly 2 miles ahead, and combined with all the adaptive cruise control states optimize the engine, gearbox and braking, taking corners, hills and speed limits under consideration. This predictive info is then filtered via information being released in through all the automobile's onboard cameras and sensors because you drive. Apparently commemorate the Panamera more cost-effective, and is also yet another step around the road towards autonomous driving. InnoDrive isn't available inside UK until 2017. Spacious for 4, but no 5-seat option at launch. Enlarged boot is much more practical shape. Tailgate brings a welcome dose of flexibility. The Panamera can be a big car, and offers a good amount of room inside due to the 4 passengers. Porsche has hinted it can easily offer a 5-seat version inside the future. Nevertheless, the 5th seat will only be suited to short journeys. Compared for the previous version, the newest Panamera carries a great distance between leading and rear wheels, freeing up more room in the cabin that is especially noticeable from the rear. Similarly, the 495-liter boot is 50 liters greater than before, and Porsche does its advisable to shape it to allow it to become better at swallowing suitcases. Fold the back chairs over, which expands to just 1,304 liters. Despite Porsche's insistence the Panamera can be a saloon, it's a real 5-door coupe using a large tailgate to get into the boot.